The greatest imperfection is believing yourself to be perfect. Axel Ozenstian. Perfection is not a destination. This is a never-ending process. Jim Bouchard. Hello to you and welcome to this second training unit of Module 2 entitled Qualities of a Good Mathematics Lesson. In this training unit, we will look at the qualities of a good mathematics lesson, how we can recognize a good mathematics lesson, what criteria you can use to objectively assess the quality of a mathematics lesson, what criteria you can use to objectively assess the quality of your maths lessons or those of a colleague. Why do you have to self-assess? Do auto-evaluation of your lessons. You have probably felt it already. You finish a math lesson in one of your classes and you tell yourself that something went wrong despite your well-prepared or designed lesson, despite your enthusiasm, your desire, your dedication, and love for your students. How many times have you had such an experience? What actions did you take after this? Any math teacher who wants the learners to succeed must necessarily carry out a self-assessment of the lesson just before the lesson, during the lesson, and after the lesson. Because, as you know, no human work is perfect. Besides, age nor experience never makes a man so perfect that there is nothing left for him to learn. Axel Ozenstian. Learning to self-assess is to have a critical look on yourself based on negotiated and appreciated judgment criteria, leading to relevant and efficient decision making. This reflective ability enables awareness of your action and lucidity essential to any mathematics teaching activity. This is why, as a mathematics teacher, it is necessary for you to carry out a daily self-assessment of your mathematics lessons with a view of improving them in order to ensure the success of your students in mathematics. Indeed, as Goethe said, the man with insight enough to admit his limitations comes nearest to perfection. And it is this perfection that we wish to achieve with you through the slogan, Teach Mathematics Differently. But to carry out such a self-assessment, it is necessary to be based on a set of efficient and objective criteria which are referred to as the characteristics of a good maths lesson. What are the characteristics of a good maths lesson? For an objective and efficient self-assessment of your maths lessons and courses, it is important to rely on a set of criteria or characteristics. Here are some characteristics of a good maths lesson. Allows students to build conceptual understanding, strengthen their fluency, and make connections between mathematics concepts. Takes into account the prior learning of learners and takes care of the needs of all students. Takes into account the needs of gifted students, tests students' reasoning, and limits the teacher's oral intervention. Makes mathematics concrete and tolerates errors in the learning environment. Allows high level of students' participation. You should act as a facilitator by allowing your students to ask the questions. Encourages group work because the group is always very effective. In a good maths lesson, students find themselves challenged. You can only test students you know well. Nancy Proterio, in her article, "What Does Good Mathematics Instruction Look Like?" proposes the integration of the following approaches in the form of pedagogical practice capable of genuinely promoting both students' learning and motivation. Make room for the students' divergent ideas. By doing so, students are challenged to think more deeply about the problems they are solving. This approach also helps students develop confidence in their own ability to do mathematics and gain an even firmer grasp of key concepts and processes. Ask interesting and probing questions. As an in-service or pre-service maths teacher, you should ask questions that stimulate your students' curiosity and encourage them to investigate further. Project a positive attitude towards mathematics and your students' ability to do mathematics. This includes showing a certain enthusiasm for the content and the belief that the subject matter being taught is within the reach of all the students. Use techniques that promote curiosity, interest, and skill development. Provide students with challenging problems. Mathematics is a stimulating and interesting field, generating new knowledge every day, and students should be exposed to this excitement and challenge using real-life situations when possible. Give room for interdisciplinary connections and examples when teaching mathematics. Allow students to share their mathematical ideas while working in pairs and in groups. Students who work in groups on problems, assignments, and other mathematical investigations display increased achievement. Provide students with a variety of opportunities to communicate mathematically. During a lesson, students should have the opportunity to communicate their ideas. They may draw a picture to represent their ideas or write them in mathematics journals. Whole class discussions should provide opportunities to hear about and perhaps challenge the other students' ideas in an environment of respect and understanding. Get students to use physical teaching aids and any other tool. However, it is not enough to provide educational material to students. You have to teach them how to use them. There are many metrics that can be used to ensure that students get the benefit of a lesson using physical teaching aids. In the first place, you should only use teaching aids that are appropriate for the objective of your course. Then, before allowing the students to handle the teaching aids, you must demonstrate to them the use of them and explain how to handle them. Design lessons that encourage participation. Conclusion: you, as a mathematics teacher, must be able to self-assess your lessons by identifying the strengths, those that remain to be improved, and the avenues to do so, both in terms of your productions and that of your pedagogic approaches. Therefore, it is necessary to base yourself on a set of criteria or characteristics of a good maths lesson. These different characteristics of a good maths lesson that we have presented in this lesson should serve as a compass for better self-assessment. Here are some of these criteria. You must have a set of clearly defined teaching objectives, adequate and interesting tasks, appropriate use of demonstration activities to build conceptual understanding, conduct quality discussions on mathematics exercises, and propose an adapted practice to ensure mastery of these concepts and skills. As you know, coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress. Working together is success. Don't forget to share your ideas and questions in the forum. You can also go to the TTP-COP platform via the following link in order to discuss with the members of your cluster. Alone, we go faster, and together, we always go further. See you soon in the next training unit.